Jerry and Theresa Russo and their three children, Justin, Alex, and Max, are preparing for a magic-free vacation to the Caribbean, home to some of the most important magical wizard spots in the world. There, the family visits a street fair, where they encounter a street magician and former wizard Archie who tries to enlist their help in turning Giselle, a parrot, back into a human by finding the Stone of Dreams, which has the power to grant any wish or reverse any spell. Jerry considers the idea too dangerous, as many wizards have gone on the quest and never returned. Later, Alex is caught trying to use magic to get away from her family by her mother, leading to an argument which results in her mother grounding her for 2 months and taking away her magic privileges. In a fit of rage, Alex wishes that her parents had never met. A smuggled wand and spell book, which Alex was holding at the time, grant her wish and as a result creates an alternate reality where Jerry and Theresa do not remember their kids and do not know each other. The kids attempt to get the spell book from Jerry, but he catches them in this alternate reality, since he never met and married Theresa. He still has his powers and is shown to have a carefree, teenager-like attitude. Justin asks him what would happen if a wizard wished that his or her parents never met. Jerry explains they would gradually forget their past before disappearing forever. He further says they only have 48 hours to reverse the spell, causing Alex and Justin to panic, and that it would take a miracle to fix it, leading Justin to mention the Stone of Dreams, which Jerry says would also work too, and he jokingly tells them they should go and find it. Justin and Alex set off to find the Stone of Dreams, guided by Archie. Meanwhile, Max stays at the resort to watch their parents. Being the youngest child, Max begins losing his memory. Realizing that something is wrong, Max tells Jerry Alex and Justin have gone to find the Stone of Dreams, having taken his suggestion seriously, and asks him to help him find them. Jerry is shocked by this, knowing how incredibly dangerous the journey is, but agrees to help. They are joined by Theresa, who believes them to simply be treasure hunting. Eventually, Alex and Justin succeed in finding the Stone of Dreams, but Giselle steals the stone. Theresa, Max and Jerry meet up with them and the kids tell Theresa and Jerry their story. Theresa doesn't believe them, believing she would not forget her children. Jerry mentions that if one of the kids was a full wizard, they might be able to cast a spell to reverse it. Max finally loses all of his memories and is sucked into a vortex of non-existence. Theresa remembers him at the last minute. Realizing that they were telling the truth, Jerry transports Alex and Justin to an ancient battlefield to have a contest. He explains the contest's rules. They will only be allowed to use spells involving the 4 classic elements: earth, air, fire, and water, and the winner will become a full wizard, while the loser will permanently lose their powers. Alex and Justin engage in what turns out to be an intense battle, with Alex narrowly winning it. In a state of worry, Alex turns to Justin for help. However, by now Justin has lost all his memories. Alex tells him that even though they pick on each other, she looks up to him and begs Justin to not leave her alone. Justin tells her that he'd never leave her and that even though he doesn't know her, he believes her and wants to help, but he is quickly sucked into the vortex. Meanwhile, Theresa returns to the resort and notices Giselle in human form with the Stone of Dreams on her necklace. After Giselle admits to using him to get the stone, Archie manages to take the stone from her. He uses it to turn her back into a parrot before giving it to Theresa. Back at the battlefield, Alex becomes desperate, realizing Justin should have won, as he is a smarter and more skilled wizard. She tries to do a spell and begs Jerry for help, but he says it's too late. Just as Alex begins to become hopeless, Theresa appears with the stone. Wynn used it to transport herself to the battlefield to help Alex. Jerry tells her she can wish for her brothers to reappear and still keep her full wizard powers if she uses her one wish correctly. But Alex wishes for everything to go back to the way it was. The alternate reality is erased as time rewinds to just before the argument that preceded Alex making the wish that her parents did not meet. This time, Alex apologizes for her attitude and gracefully accepts her grounding. She lovingly reunites with Justin and Max, who have full memories of their adventure, and they and their parents stroll once more.